Hey guys, it's Elliot Booth and this is the Tattoo Removal Australia show. Say goodbye to the myths, confusions and misconceptions of the tattoo removal industry and say hello to real information, real clients and real results. Welcome to the TRA show with myself and my beautiful co-host Rita Da Silva, where we take you beyond the trend. All right, welcome back guys. We have another Q&A episode. Thank you for joining us. I'm joined with my beautiful co-host, Rita Da Silva. Hey, Rita.
Hello, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for listening and watching us. We are here.
Yeah, ready to go.
Yeah.
As always, guys, thank you for watching the show. Thank you for always shooting your questions through. We really appreciate it. Call to action, please leave a Google review. Yeah, doing really well. So we really appreciate the Google reviews to help grow the show. Like and subscribe, all that stuff on YouTube. But yeah, we really appreciate you joining us. Now,
Yeah.
Rita, what's happening?
What's happening?
A new week?
Yeah, new week. We have a short week this week. Like it's only 4 days of work days. And then
Who, you?
I don't work like Friday. I don't work on Friday. That's super Friday. So,
I do an 8-day week every week.
yeah, so I'm not there yet. I give myself some time to recharge and do
I might
like
have
my
to take a
personal
little
stuff.
a little note out of that book actually.
So yeah, busy week.
What's happening?
What's the name? Like your nephew. Your nephews. We have
Lenny's second birthday tomorrow.
Yeah, important birthday parties this week.
I'm going to say something hilarious. It's also my dad's 70th on Friday.
Yeah.
So this podcast will come out on Friday on his birthday, so I can drop this bomb. I just went and bought him. Everyone doesn't know this, but he likes Aldi a lot. So we went to Aldi today shooting the vlog, and I got him an Aldi tracksuit. And it's fucking ridiculous. It's like this grey tracksuit with this big colorful Aldi logo. Oh man, I texted to my sister and she's like, shut up. He'll wear it 100%.
I bet he will.
He'll be the most embarrassing man in Palm Beach in no time.
Yeah, I love Aldi.
Yeah, but you don't wear their clothes.
Yeah.
You know they have Aldi Crocs? White and black Crocs with like the colorful Aldi logo. It's ridiculous. That's what it is. And those Aldi beanies, everything. But that's going to be hilarious.
Yeah. So that's Gary's big 70s and
Lenny's 2.
Turning 2. Yeah. So yeah, that's what has been happening. Not much like on my side.
This will come out on Friday. Yeah. So happy birthday, Len, for Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah, how's work going? What's new?
Work's good.
You had a busy morning.
Yeah, busy morning.
For anybody that doesn't know, Rita gets home usually maybe like 11 or 12 o'clock on a Monday, and then she comes home to chaos in the house where she has to quickly get ready and come to the podcast.
Yeah.
So she's been at work all morning training clients.
So yeah, I had 2 new clients today and then another new one tomorrow. So definitely a very productive week.
3 newbies. How good?
3 noobs, 3 new ladies.
Where did they come from?
2 comes from Good Life and 1 came the lead from Instagram, which is quite powerful as we are talking. Then the importance of having online presence. Yeah,
for sure. Because we were talking about that and how I'm just surprised, and I shouldn't say I'm surprised, but it's kind of. It sounds silly, but it's so true. Not even to get clients, but for me, the doors are opening with people wanting to laser. Like there's just the whole social platform is so powerful.
Yeah, the visibility.
Like I mentioned, not in a sense of getting clients, like obviously that's great, but way more background stuff with, people saying, hey, I've done tattoo removal for all these years and I want to come do it with you and stuff like that.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
It's really, really cool.
Yeah, so that's very, very like also like you have people then interested to work with you in the sense like I'm gonna get a massage now, then someone then wants me to talk about like her service. So it's so good having that side as well.
Yeah, true.
Know?
Yeah. I've never received anything for free. But when are you doing that?
This afternoon.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. Very excited.
I thought we were hanging out, but that's all right. So yeah, no, that's awesome. 3 new clients in
3
3
new
days.
clients,
Do you know,
awesome week.
I was chatting to Em just before. It's such a small world, right? So the last couple of days I've been on a hunt trying to still find a Gold Coast clinic. And I reached out to this guy and I said, hey, you know, I'm interested in this place you've got advertised. And he called me like pretty quick. And I was like, oh, hey, lovely guy. And he's like, oh, you went to school with my brother. And I was like, oh shit. Yeah. When I saw your last name, like that rang a bell. And I was like, you know my sister, eh? And he's like, yeah, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. That's awesome. So it's good, like familiarity and connections. But he goes, actually, you know, watch your podcast. And I actually train at the gym your girlfriend works at. And I was like, oh what? So there's like this Brisbane and Gold Coast, and we grew up in Brisbane.
Coast? Oh, and he's here.
Yeah, so he lives down here. But it's just so crazy how small this world is. And I put it in reference of this place is too small to be a shit person.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
You know, there's like this all these points of contact, you know. If you told me that in school that I would one day be trying to like lease something off this guy's brother who knows my sister and trains at the gym, like it's so crazy.
Such a small world.
Yeah.
Even more here,
but that opens up doors too, you know, as long as you're not a shit person.
Yeah.
It's still,
yeah, as long as you try to keep yourself. Yeah. Wow. And how about you? What's happening in your week, Elliot? Tell me. I know your car is broken yesterday.
Yeah, that'll drop on the vlog next week. Yeah, yesterday I left home and I wanted to go to look at a potential place to lease for like our head office on the coast, and then the car started going and the engine light, and I was like, oh fuck. So I had to quickly turn it off, and then it got towed. I left it on the side of the road and got towed today to a mechanic. That was fun.
Yeah.
How often I drive that car up to Brisbane and back at least 5-6 times a week.
That's
this like I drive up at 4 or 5 a.m. and I come back some days at 9 p.m.
So
and I'm like
lucky.
so lucky it broke down on a Sunday morning in Robina and not 9 p.m. at Yatla or something.
Just 5 minutes away from home.
Yeah. Yep.
So blessed.
I just parked the car and got an Uber back home and sat on the couch like, fuck.
And imagine if you happen on the way to Brisbane when you have the full day of clients, how you're going to get there. Worse. Yeah, so good. Yeah.
I bought that car when, I don't know, 6 months ago. I have no idea when. Anyway, and I never even got it serviced. So the mechanic called and he said, oh yeah, there's these few issues, but they're pretty minor. Which I was really lucky because I was like, oh shit, the engine's definitely blown up. I should have put oil in it or something. So I'll take that as a lesson to maintain your things. How's your new clients this week? Last week, and it's always hard because we're like a week back when this episode comes out, but there was 17 new clients. That's crazy. Yeah. So the week just gone, 17 new people started, which is really cool. And this week, so far, there's 12 or 13 new people starting, which is awesome. But I look forward to there's going to be a real problem because everybody books every 8 weeks. So when this 8-week cycle comes, it's the second week of June. Crazy, yeah. And then when that comes again, and if there's 10 new people each week starting in a year, there's like a real problem because there's 60 people in that week wanting to be lasered, if that makes sense. Yeah. Great problem to have. I'll deal with that shit when we get there.
Yesterday, a friend of mine sent me this reel from Channel 7 talking about the booming of tattoo removal. Then has increased 35% on the last year. So you definitely can relate it to that, right? And
I always wonder if they just make those statistics up because how do you gauge? Like for me, the business is growing. So I'm growing at 100%, like doubling, but how do you gauge that tat removal itself is growing? You know what I mean? How
I don't know how they measure just make that shit up. But they're it's numbers, busy. Of 35%, and they are at this
35% of what?
35% of increase for tattoo removal.
Yeah. See, mine would be fucking 100% increase, if not more. So it's how are they actually measuring that?
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
So
I would say, and the thing that I find really cool is 90% of my clients are female, and 80% of that 90% are in their 30s. It's really interesting. This this certain demographic, which is so driven and have also outgrown their 20s and they start coming into motherhood, and then that's like
exactly
that old.
Yeah, so they also talk that the people has outgrown their tattoos. That's why they decided to get them gone. And they're like way more to expect on the few years to come.
100%.
So
I always say it's so interesting because historically tattoos have only been on like sailors or like criminals or whatever. But we've never seen like a tattoo generation that goes on to outgrow their tattoos. Like, all right, a criminal or bikie or like maybe some sailor gets their tattoos. Not many of them remove them because, that's them. That's who they are, But yeah, we've never experienced a generation get so tattooed in their 20s. Who knows what's going to happen in their 50s? Because these people are going to be the first generation actually outgrowing.
Of regretting, yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah, very good perspective.
Yeah. Good business to be in, you could say. Maybe.
Yeah, so you're still in the hunting for the tattoo removal in Gold Coast?
Do you know how hard it is to find a Gold Coast clinic?
I heard you then you have contacted a few people.
There was a place really close to home, and it was in the vlog, and then the landlord didn't approve for the service, for the use of it. And I was like, okay, that seems a bit strange. Maybe because it has the word tattoo in it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But pretty weird to not let a tattoo
business
removal clinic lease your shop. Who knows? But yeah, there's not many availabilities, that's for sure.
Yeah, you have been applying for places.
Well, not applying for anything. I'm just trying to find the right one. Yeah, inquiring for sure. But yeah, we're getting there slowly.
Yeah.
I think the way to go is a mini HQ warehouse. Because there's, I'm sure she'll be listening. There's a lady coming to train in the coming month. So we'll do like a training facility, office, all that sort of stuff. And I think we do the clinic within that rather than just get a standalone clinic and still sit at home in my home office working. Yeah.
That'll be the way to go.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else is exciting?
What else exciting happening? Not much excitement actually. It's just like living life.
Just grinding.
Yeah, just grinding, working. Yeah. That's what's been happening.
Very good. So
what happened exciting with you?
Nothing. I've heard you got some questions for us. Today's Q&A again, guys. Oh, exciting topic actually. I think 2 episodes time, I'm going to be sitting here. Rita's getting fired for the day because I'm going to be sitting here with my very first client. So you can hear Rebecca's personal experience and journey through tattoo removal,
Can't wait.
which I think is super relatable. And the whole goal to get her in here and talking to me about the process and her journey is to sort of relatability, I suppose, so people don't feel so alone. It'll be really nice for a lot of people to hear. And she's very articulate and very sort of in touch with herself. So when she's got a lot of tattoos that I treat, and we just have this 30-minute deep conversation about how she's outgrown them. And so the perfect person to sort of share her journey.
Good.
And it's so lovely that she's willing to as well.
I know.
She didn't bat an eyelid. She goes, yep, I'm so passionate about this. Let's do it.
Yeah, and
like,
you
wow.
also said that she's been listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have clients then give you the support outside
For
of
sure.
the clinic as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
and she's willing to drive down from Brisbane on a day off. So
I know.
yeah, it's super, super lovely. So
wait.
Rita is looking forward to having that day off. She'll probably still be here, but
absolutely. Yeah. It would be lovely to meeting Rebecca and know a little bit about her journey. That's for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, here we go. We have like 3 questions, guys. And let's start. Hi, Elliot and Rita.
Question number 1.
Question number 1. Always forget to mention the number of the questions.
Yeah, question number 1, 2, 3. That's all right.
I've been watching your content and find it so interesting to hear all about tattoo removal, as I've been super keen to get a tattoo removed, but worried about how it affects my day-to-day life after.
Oh, healing process.
Yeah, the healing process.
Yep.
Is there anything I can do after the removal?
There's no limitations, basically. It's super easy. It's probably a pretty common question that I get where people... And I run everybody through their aftercare during the treatment, what to do's and don'ts. But honestly, it feels like a sunburn. So the biggest thing to know is not to add heat that day. So when they leave, I say, don't spend too much time in the sun, don't go in a sauna, don't have a screaming hot shower, but you can go to the gym, you can get it wet, you can shower, just not too hot. It's because it feels like sunburn, right? So it's pretty important not to add more heat to that. Not from a point of view that it's going to damage your skin or make anything worse. It just hurts you. So that regard, don't add heat is the number one thing. Not every tattoo removal machine's equal, as we always talk about. So the healing's pretty crazy. With the ones we use, there's no broken skin. So there's no risk of infection. You don't even need to use antiseptic cream. 9 times out of 10, you don't even have to use aftercare cream because nothing heals your skin like your skin. There's no broken skin. So there's no there's no discharge. There's no risk of infection.
It's pretty
so
straightforward.
Easy. Yeah. There is a component with swelling. Like if it's a big tattoo, you will have not a problem, but you will have an angle that's to do with swelling. That might restrict you from working out or hopefully not working, but nothing's going to impact your day-to-day life, honestly. I usually say go to the gym before you come. Then the next day you can train again. There's no real restrictions. Nothing's going to change your life. You don't have to put your life on hold for it by any means.
Do you recommend any cream?
Yeah, there's creams and whatnot. I think they're all the same, to be honest with you. Like I have a cream in the clinic which I give out to a lot of clients just to have, but it's no different to moisturizer.
Yeah, it's aloe vera,
aloe vera, pawpaw, anything like that.
That's nice. And
it's literally just to soothe itchiness. If you're not itchy, you don't have to use anything. The common thing I say is nothing heals your skin like your skin. Nothing fades a tattoo like your body. So you do nothing. Unless it's dry or itchy, put cream, any type of cream.
Just let it heal.
Yeah, it's surprisingly easy. All those years ago when you have to bandage it and leave it dry for 3 days and all that sort of stuff, those days are in the past. So yeah, I think just planning your day, get your day done before the treatment mostly. But even then, a lot of people get their tattoos removed nice and early. So yeah, I don't think there's no restrictions.
Nothing. Yeah.
As always, it's not a straight answer as long as you go to a good laser. That's the big thing. Yeah.
The main thing.
Number one thing, good lasers won't damage your skin too much, which directly impacts your healing process.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for reaching out.
Yes. Thank you, Sarah. So here, question number 2, guys. Hi, Elliot. Thanks so much for answering our questions. You're literally the only person being so transparent about tattoo removal industry. I found my skin heals. I found my skin heals a week after getting my tattoo removal session, and want to know why I have to wait so long between appointments if my skin is okay.
Fair question.
Yeah.
I feel like I get this a lot as well. And it kind of all flows from that first question. When you use a laser that doesn't do a lot of damage to your skin, so a high quality laser doesn't break your skin, right? So there's no bubbles, there's no risk of infection, there's nothing like that. So your skin, honestly, anywhere between 2 to 7 days is completely back to normal. So that really makes sense. Is there a name on that question?
Yeah, Geordie.
Yes. Geordie. That's pretty normal, honestly. It sounds like your laser's reasonable, which is great because you shouldn't really have this prolonged skin healing process. While your skin is healing, that's one process, but there's a second process going on at play simultaneously, which is your body's lymphatic system fading the tattoo. So I would like to make a point that your skin healing and your tattoo fading are 2 different processes that are going on at the same time, but they're not the same thing. So your skin healing is no representation to the progress of your tattoo removal fade. Right. Does that make sense? So the reason you have to wait time, it's not because it's not for your skin to heal. Although your skin needs to be healed, like what you said, Geordie, your tattoo will be healed by a week, if not sooner, but it's the fading process that needs 2 to 3 months. If you went, oh yeah, my skin's healed, let's do it the next week, you'll waste so much money because we're going to laser the same skin. I shouldn't say we're going to laser because I wouldn't let you do it, but you have to wait the time so that your body can fade that ink away so we can hit the next layers. Otherwise, you're going to come in, hit the same laser you've already hit, waste money, and it's kind of like standing on the back of your heels.
It's like you lasering the layers of the skin.
Yeah, it's like we're lasering the same ink.
Yeah.
It would be like an absolute scam, honestly. So it's a valid question, and honestly, a lot of people ask it in the clinic. But your skin healing is a very different process that's going on simultaneously with your fade.
Yeah, and I believe because the clients, they want to get removal done as soon as possible. So that's why let's get it like in 3 weeks.
Let's do it again.
I remember then you mentioned one of the guys then went to you and he wants like to faded his leg and he goes, okay, can I come like next week? Like he was like
bro, I even get people, I'll laser a tattoo and once it's done, they're like, can we do it again? And I'm like, now? They're like, yeah. Like, can we laser it again? And I'm like, fuck no. Absolutely not. But yeah, people are they just want to smash it.
Yeah. So it's all about the healing time.
It's all about time, which nobody wants to pay. Yeah. Time's like the underlying, the common denominator of life, hey? Honestly.
You have it to be.
It's a process. Remember last episode we were talking about like fitness journey? Needs time. Tattoo removal process needs time.
Exactly.
Everything needs time and nobody wants to give it. So,
to wait.
But yeah, that's a really good question, Geordie. And I feel like a lot of people probably have that question on their mind. The skin isn't a factor in the time frame. Yeah. The tattoo, your lymphatic system is the factor that we're waiting for, not your skin.
There you go. There, Geordie, that's your answer. So now we have the question number 3.
Lucky last.
This question came from YouTube. Awesome.
Oh.
Yeah. Hi, guys.
And I should actually say, sorry to interrupt. I forgot to say it at the beginning. Guys, Q&A, please leave your questions in the YouTube comments below the show. You can also email them to askelliot@tattooremovalaus.com.au. And that's askelliot, LLTT, @tattooremovalaus.com.au. But YouTube comments are the best.
Yes.
Gives us a bit of engagement too.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, Rita.
There you go. Hi, guys. Love and appreciate your podcast. Sending loving vibes from Perth.
Hey,
Perth. From Perth. We are not all hoes over here.
What?
She said we are not assholes over here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true, because I did, summer.
Yeah. Uh-huh. My question for Elliot is, when sectioning large tattoo removal, example, as a full sleeve, how many weeks do you give between each session? How do you plot out the patient's removal plan? You mentioned sectioning up into quadrants. How many weeks average between sessions?
Great question.
Yeah,
really good question. I like this. It sounds like she does tattoo removal. Or at the very least is getting into it. There's 2 things. Is there a name there? There's not, is there? No, that's okay.
Sorry,
that's fine.
Not this one.
There's 2 things. Yeah, there's 2 things at play. It's your job to obviously remove the tattoo for that person, but you also have to manage their journey. And by that, I mean, so theoretically, let's just say a sleeve, just to break this down simply. When I treat a client sleeve, I do it in 4 quarters. Although a week is enough time to do each quarter, getting the whole thing done in 4 weeks, the reason I don't do that is because they're going to live in pure hell for a month. And they're, from a removal sustainability point of view, they're not going to want to come back. Although somebody's going to be quite motivated when they come to you and say, let's just zap it, get this done, it's kind of your job to rein them in a little bit and control that motivation, because the motivation to want the whole thing gone is the same thing that will shoot them in the foot and then make their journey really hard. So what I do is generally, I should say, is every 2 weeks. So after the first week, skin's healed, swelling's gone, they have a week to just sort of live their life normally again. And then we do the next quarter. The cool thing at 2 weeks, I believe, should be the absolute minimum. For healing, for fading, bit less strain on the lymphatic system. But 2 weeks works perfect in quarters, because by the time you do the 4th quarter, you're back to 8 weeks. So you theoretically could do 2 weeks, 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 2 weeks until the tattoo's gone. I still don't really love it. So what I would do, that's fine when it's dark. As the tattoo gets lighter, it gets less traumatic, so you can laser a bigger area. So when a client first starts, I would do it in quarters for maybe 3 treatments or so. Everyone will be a little bit different. When the tattoo gets 50, 60% gone, then I switch to halves. And I'll do the half, 4 weeks, half, 4 weeks, half. So my goal is to stretch out, let them heal for longer and let them come in less frequently.
Right.
So I know that's like there's a fair bit to consider here. The biggest thing is making it sustainable for them. I think that's the number one thing. There's actually, I'm just thinking of this guy. There's a guy that I do 3/4 of his leg sleeve. We're removing pretty much the whole leg sleeve except for the inner sort of thigh area. And I do it in thirds. And we do 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. That's 6 weeks. And then he has 4 weeks off and we do 2, 2, 2. So getting it done time efficiently is good. And then also give him a bit of a break.
So it can have
psychological
like
recovery.
Space. Yeah.
Physical recovery and psychological. Honestly, like there's
so it's enough time to him to forget how the pain is, and then he comes back.
Yeah. There's a young lady that has 2 sleeves and hands and everything that I do, and we do a lot on her, and I'll do a whole inner arm and a whole inner arm together. And then another treatment, we'll do outer arms, hands, necks, all different things. But it's just managing the swelling. I think that's the really important thing.
So the main thing is
the swelling. Yeah. The individual plan is very relative to the quadrants. Like, for example, that guy's leg sleeve, 3 sections is fine, but a sleeve sort of needs to be 4. I always say, honestly, give 2 weeks, give them a 2-week break before they come in again. Don't focus so much on the 8 weeks. Don't focus so much on the 8 weeks being finishing your plan, the whole treatment entirely at 8 weeks. Be more focused on allowing enough time for their healing. So even if you were doing a sleeve in quarters, even doing it every 3 weeks, 3, 6, it'll be 12 weeks by the time you get back to the start. But that's way better than having an unsustainable treatment plan.
Exactly.
If that makes sense.
At least like 3 weeks, you know, then you have enough healing, you have enough like psychological repair, and then you're coming back again.
100%. Yeah. So yeah, I hope that makes sense.
It does.
You want to balance. The thing that you're trying to do is mitigate swelling and the frequency of swelling. And you do that by time. But then also understanding they just want to get it done. So
yeah, and each person has like a different recovery as well, right? But
everyone swells.
Everyone swells pretty much.
Everyone swells. Some people more than others. A classic one when people come in and say, "Hey, I have these 2 hand tattoos I want to remove." I'll never do them together because hands, and even my removal of my hand, it would swell so much that I couldn't even pull a fist. Like I remember just not being able to use my hand for a good week after each treatment. So like that taught me, okay, never do 2 hands at the same time because then that person can't live. Can't even wipe their ass. So things like that is important. Sleeves, they can live with their swelling. It's not going to completely ruin their life. But yeah, just balancing the swelling and without crushing their soul.
And
because if you do every week, theoretically you could do 1 week between, but that's just horrific. I say 2 to 3 weeks is a really good space between treatments. And I would probably lean more towards 3 weeks.
Does people get a lot of like swell like on the chest?
No. So that's a good question, Rita. Swelling, and this will be a good question for that listener that asked that question. Swelling is really only a factor for extremities. I have no doubt that chests, ribs, backs, they all swell, but because they're not extremities, you don't deal. I don't know whether you don't notice the swelling or you don't get it. One of the two, but the swelling is not a problem. The extremities and gravity just make it really, really difficult.
In the arms.
So I'll laser, and for her, this is important to know. I'll laser a big section of a forearm, and that client will have a puffy hand. They'll probably lose their knuckles. Because of all the fluid in their arm and gravity, because our arms hang, all the fluid goes down to your knuckles, and you'll even have fat fingers. not so much that you can't use them, but just to expect, once you see that, you'll realize why we break them up into smaller sections.
Right.
If you were to laser a whole arm, I guarantee you'd put that person in hospital. It'd be unbelievable. So yeah, just managing that.
Main thing. Yeah. Managing the swelling, the control.
Every extremity, depending on the size, for the lady that answered that, asked that question, every tattoo will vary with the size, but just general rule of thumb, leg sleeves can be quarters, arms can be quarters until they get really light, and then you can do bigger sections. I've got a guy coming in a couple of weeks. We've been doing his full sleeve. I haven't seen him for a couple of years, and it's 90% gone, and I will have no problem in lasering the entire sleeve because there's only 10% left of the tattoo. It's super light. But when we first started, it was quarters.
It was like you just
so the less ink, the less damage. The lighter the tattoo, the more you can laser because your swelling will be nowhere near as bad. Yeah. So I hope that makes sense.
Definitely
just
does.
Mitigate swelling. That's the biggest soul crushing experience for the client. That will.
Yeah, you don't want to leave your session feeling completely. You can do anything else.
Yeah,
for
sure.
For a few days.
Yeah. But that's a really good question. Thank you for asking that.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
So that's 3.
Yeah, 3 questions today. That was one quick. You're very knowledgeable, Elliot.
I'm just making this up. No.
Yeah.
There's a lady that comes in, and I speak about her a bit, but she's like, actually, I might have even said this last podcast. Nobody you can't learn this stuff. Honestly, you can't. There's no tattoo removal place that will teach you this, and we'll talk to you about swelling and times because it doesn't exist. There's like tattoo removal colleges that will teach you how to laser and all the theory side of things, but nobody will explain breaking up sleeves and legs in time frames for swelling. No, I am absolutely adamant that
and
there's
then you
not
had to learn that by yourself.
Just the hard way.
Experience.
But lasering, fuck, I lasered way too much on that arm, too much swelling. Like just literally learning it all.
And that's why it's important.
This is why this podcast is so important.
Yeah.
Because truly, there's not a training facility that would
give you that step, the breaking down of steps. I was like, there should be a training
facility that pays me for this shit. Oh, wait. There's the TRA Academy. But so
and you can see like it's very valuable, learning those lessons.
Because when I train people, it's like, I teach them how to laser, but it's more how to. It's more from like this is like how I answered that question, the sustainability. Like I can teach anyone how to actually laser and how it works, but it's more the client comfort. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a sort of differentiating.
And I think that's why you have such a great rotation of clients that they do one treatment with you, they get one tattoo removed and they come back for others because
that's
they
probably
know
the coolest part.
in great hands. Yeah.
That's probably the coolest part or they do their first treatment and then I get an email a few weeks later going, hey, is it all right if we add this tattoo and this tattue into the next treatment?
Yeah, because
I'm like, hell yeah, it is. And on that note too, for the lady that asked that last question, when people come in and they say, I have all these little tattoos I want to remove, I just say, stop. And these clients will appreciate this a lot. So you just say stop and pick your priority. It's really easy to laser too much and then not want to come back. If you've got all these different tattoos, just laser the first ones first. Even if it's 1 or 2 treatments and then you start the others, just start with the less tattoos. Get an understanding of your healing, gain confidence, don't jump in, laser everything and then not want to go back. Because the clients will
be
thank
mindful.
you. Yeah, for sure.
It's just a process, I
have a lady doing her second treatment this week. I met her last week. She came in and has this really big back tattoo, this really big rib tattoo, and this little thing on her wrist. She came in for a consult last week. And before she left, I was like, actually, if you don't mind, let's laser this one today. We'll just do this. Don't worry about paying because I'll see you next week when we start the bigger sections. But let's just zap this today. You can feel it. You can understand it. You can see the healing and you will have so much more encouragement's not the right word, but you'll be
motivation.
And less scared for next week. Like I'm not sure whether we're doing the back or the rib this week coming, but she's experienced it. We've done a little bit. It's just a nice way to
get ease
people into it.
Yeah,
for sure. And then they really appreciate you not just trying to take their money and just laser everything and say, good luck.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Feeling the trust.
at the end of the day, any business is solving a problem for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not in my opinion, at least, you're not really solving a problem if you're creating another problem. So by using, you know, like, yeah, okay, someone needs a tattoo removed, cool, we laser everything, and then your arm's so fucking swollen you can't work for a week. Yeah, it's not a good way to do it because you're resolving a problem and creating another one. But if you can actually solve that problem and make it sustainable and not create another problem, you'll have a pretty successful business.
Yeah, you earning the trust of your clients.
And even how I give, I mean, there was a Google review last week, how the guy was saying how much he appreciated getting an aftercare cream as a gift. And I was like, no, I appreciate that you had a good experience.
Trust. Yeah.
Like, I don't care about a $20 tube of cream. Like, if you're happy, I'm happy. And it's like that, just that whole solving a problem for somebody, like having a service that helps them, but also makes them feel valued
as well.
Yeah. Not just, laser everything, get out, good luck healing, see you in 8 weeks. Personalize it a bit. Yeah. And same with personal training.
Yeah, absolutely. Same thing. Yeah, you don't come to me and I go, you're going to fix you in 2 or 3 weeks.
We're going to hit your legs so hard that you're never going to come back.
And
it's true.
Like for my clients, they haven't trained, like they haven't been to the gym. We start like with a full body session. We do 3-4 exercises.
Not just
like, it's
smash
not like,
back,
hit squats,
and then you won't
press.
be able to.
Yeah. And then you don't come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's not how it works. You start the first 3 weeks or the first 6 weeks, 3 full body sessions, and then from there we build up your tolerance for weights, your tolerance for endurance, and then
I feel like that's a pretty similar parallel to tattoo removal, not lasering too much and building up, getting seeing the aftermath.
Exactly.
Same thing, yeah. Assessing the damage. No, I shouldn't say that. But thank you for the 3 questions, guys. We appreciate you interacting with the show. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Apparently you can subscribe to Spotify. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
And Google review, please. Links in the description below.
Thank you so much, guys, for listening and watching to us, and see you all next week.
Have a good Easter, and we'll see you all next week.